my name is Anju Gopinath and I'm a second year MTech student here at IIT Madras. How I got in the course is since I joined the institute, randomly I've heard people telling me you should attend that course at least once. And after attending the course, I realized why. Because first of all, the people of all ages, and when a person of Professor Devdas Menon's abilities gives a course like that, where I've read in one of his book reviews, an international person described him as a world-class structural engineer. And so when a person who has achieved so much and goes about how to live life and quite opposite to what we youngsters think, and also he quotes real life examples, and so it struck a chord deep within me, if I would say. The lectures as such, each and every lecture is like better than the last one, but what happens is we have this tea break after 2 hours of class, and we like kind of huddle around him like how flies go around the light. Yeah, and so we just talking about our daily lives. And there was at this one point, I was just telling him, sir, maybe, I don't enjoy this course as much. He just, it's like he just pointed, why are you wasting your life? And that coupled with all that, he tells that regularly, not regularly, to people like, as in you should not worry about your grades and such. But when I don't know, when your professor looks at you and tells you like that, and, something changes in you, so.
I'm Nagarajan. I finished my engineering in mechanical engineering from NIT Rourkela in year 2006, after which I was directly placed in DRDO. So although my area of interest were a little different initially, I was able to align myself with the nature of work, because I really was involved in a lot of things which were once in a lifetime opportunity, like being based in Siachen Glacier, or actually working with the people of the Indian Army who are there at the front end, having a lot of sacrifice to do. So I found a lot of meaning with my work. So now I have come here to improve my technical skills for doing an MTech here. Probably I'll go work back and make more difference. I am from a very orthodox family where we have been exposed to a lot of ritualistic things. But during the course of my development, during my youth, I sort of became a rebel, more of an atheist kind of a thing, because there was always a dichotomy in my the way something is being told and the way I was understanding, or rather misunderstanding those things. But then the very good thing is that there was a sudden connection that was being made, and a lot of things, when coming from such an eminent professor, was making more sense to me, and I was able to connect with it, and then probably feel that yes, there is a lot of things that have to be explored as a person, and then I'm taking baby steps towards it. More than actually rating sir, which I'm at no level at all, the mere presence, sitting in front of him, the amount of the positive radiance that I receive from him gives me so much of the happiness and a lot of enthusiasm to actually try and understand what he really wants to convey. So I'm not in a position to actually evaluate the course in terms of sir's ability to convey things to us, but yes, it's a very, very wonderful initiative by our professor to at least be able to impart such courses to students, at least where scientific temperament has to be intertwined with a spiritual content. So sir's clarity in sir's evolution is completely at a different level altogether. So we are blessed to actually have such an interaction with him. That's all. This integral Karmayoga is more of I am auditing this course, and I believe in the difference, the contents in the course that's going to make a more difference in my life, because it's not going to be the period in which the course is going to be offered, because I truly believe that I'll be able to only grasp a very small minuscule of whatever is being expected to know. But then it's the first step in the right direction for me to grow.
Sir, I am working with DRDO. I am working as a scientist in DRDO, and most of the time we are working for a project which is for other agency, which is Aeronautical Development Agency. Because in third semester we wanted to register a course, and My friend suggested this course. Coming to this integral Karma Yoga, then that is the first time in my life as I got introduced to Bhagavad Gita. At least till now I didn't even know what was it, what is the message. So this can be told as a watershed moment or a period in my life. So it totally shifted my focus, because from the childhood I am conditioned in a totally different way. So and getting experience to this spiritual path, and the journey has just started. But it's because with all these years of conditioning, the path is tough, but the journey has started. And to find such a course in happening in IIT Madras, like, it is really great to the institute, and it will make I highly recommend this course to the students, because it is changing my life.
What are you doing? And
Sir, I am pursuing my MTech program in machine design. I am from ISRO, working in ISTRAC, Bangalore. As a sponsored program, I have been here and doing my MTech program. Having the primary intention with which we came to the institute is to develop the technical know-how. The MTech program will provide us more insights so that we can execute those things in the organization. These programs, which is not exactly a technical thing, but this gives us a self-developmental program. See, the requirement only technical doesn't support an individual, which can support only a certain domain of work. But such programs, which is a overall thing, which can be implemented in any way of life. It can be in the organization, it can be with our family, as an individual, with our interactions with our friends, all in those terms. This program made me to realize me much better than what I was. He had selected few verses specifically relating the Bhagavad Gita to Karmayoga, and that gave us a overall view in a very short span of time. Once I taken up this course, I really felt the course material, how the Professor Devdas Menon has compiled the material of Bhagavad Gita into a much simpler and a crispy way in which it can be conveyed to a more generic people, where they can understand better. Because I have seen a few books written by yogis and other things which are in depth, and the real understanding has to come as we attain certain stage. As a beginner, if we need to really get the insight of those things, it's really difficult. But the book, the spirituality at work, what was written by Sir, as well as the program Integral Karma Yoga, there he conveys the same information in a much simplest way, whereas an individual or the beginners can understand very well. That audio discourses which I used to listen, that was a complete Bhagavad Gita program where each verse was discussed for 1 hour program. And after hearing it for almost, I had the passion. Whenever I was on a travel or some free movements, I used to just put the audio, walk around, going around. And what I felt was I was not able to cover it. It's a program which takes years together. But here what I felt was Sir was conveying in a more simplest way, as he has selected the specific things what we can imbibe for our requirements, particularly this Karma Yoga, relating our work to the thing what you are doing. And here I found he is giving us as if the what we are expecting, which we were not able to get it specifically from the overall view. Karmanye vadikaraste mahaphaleshu, that inspired me really, because I have heard it many times. But during the course of class, when he had explained the individual meanings of those things, it really struck me to my heart. The thing is, everything what we do, we always look into the fruit, and we with the keeping the destination in mind, we go about with our work. But it really conveys that we should really look for we need to do what we are supposed to do without having in mind about the fruits what we get from it. So that always lingers in me whenever I sleep. Also sometimes I just repeat these verses and try to
So so the thing is, he quotes Gita examples, and youngsters such as us, we're not able to find deeper meanings, but he quotes real life examples, as in how for example, the food that we eat, you shouldn't eat such food. So now I've, actually stopped doing that, and I have, and then he said you should meditate. So, and it's not just that, he tells you how to go about it also. So it's like you don't have too many doubts creeping up as to how you should proceed. So maybe it's regarding the food, it's regarding, and one example is he said you should not worry so much about the mistakes that have come to in the past, just leave it. So such things, small things, it's created a lot of a huge change within me, because you feel more at peace with yourself. Like all youngsters, when I joined here, I used to watch a lot of motivational videos. But after towards the end of my course, I feel it did not affect me as much as the course that I'm attending now, Integral Karmayoga, because that what difference it makes is that you come together with a lot of people, and they're making you do hands-on projects, and it's and that too, it's like it's every week class, so it's like a booster dose, so you don't lose interest in that course. So yeah, all these things coupled together, and yeah, so it's drastically different. I would, in classroom experience is different than just watching the videos online. I think this is one course that we all look forward to attending, and I felt the same way about the other people who attend this course as well. And the 3 hours, it's not like the regular lecture kind of class. It's, I don't know, maybe the way the course is structured. First of all, the way the Gita verses are played out, it's very musical. It's good to listen to, and then sir explains that with a real life example. So each of us would have experienced such kind of things in our life, so we reflect back on that. So it's like a learning session. It's passive learning also. So and that when after that, like I said, after 2 hours of class, we surround him and we talk to him about our experiences. He tells us how we should change. So it's passive learning. It's fun. It reflects on our mistakes. So it's the 3 hours is, I don't think it just passes away. It's fun.